I mean, this what he tells about the sorrows of young Werther. You ever hit that?
No, never.
Okay,
I got to.
you know what it's about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
okay,
for
yeah.
sure.
But you know, so like it's just so interesting with the autobiographical element of it, where it's like it's basically him in his youth. So like
Goethe.
yeah, Goethe
Yeah.
in his youth and getting obsessed with this unattainable woman, and then at the end killing himself.
Wow.
And it's
damn.
all the letters that he was writing to his friend about
Yeah.
what was going on. Right? It's written through letters
Oh,
and
okay,
dated
yeah.
letters. But in real life, this is all true. The only thing that's not true is
that
he didn't kill himself.
Wow, really? But he was
So
obsessed with some girl?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was a real woman.
Oh,
And
shit.
they figured it out. And
Oh,
then the
shit.
autofiction came out. So this is also, and also he's talking about the Sturmendrang and like the whole movement,
Yeah.
you know, of the, you know about that phrase, the Sturmendrang?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm not totally...
Patrick was talking about it in the pod,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, oh yeah, I bet. But then it came up here. But it's like this. I like this idea. He defines what the romantic, like the German romantic ethic is, and
Okay.
it is a kind of like individual over the collective,
Yeah.
like new over the old. Like they believe in like the, you know, almost like a kind of divine inspiration, like individual genius,
Yeah.
like and the intuition springing forth versus like relying heavily on like old sources
Yeah.
to like retell them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why he's like clowning Martin Luther in that. Right?
Okay.
That's kind of part of that,
Yeah.
I think.
In Kleist?
Yeah.
Because Martin Luther represents.
Yeah, I mean, what Martin Luther represents
What does he
most of all, I think, is like a domination of the German language. Because, right, he wrote the Bible in German, and that
I
became
see,
like
I see.
the de facto
Oh,
German
interesting,
was Luther's
interesting.
language. And people say, like, I mean, I don't know German, but I've
Yeah.
heard that, like, the influence of that was, it's so much more than like the King James in English, like the German that of Luther's Bible, right?
Okay, I see. Wait, so Sturmendrang foreshadowed you say about 1770. This is irrelevant. I'm only thinking about what happened. I only care about what happened
I
between
like that.
1777
I like that.
and 1798
Yeah.
as we enter this time. About 77, a movement of young intellectuals coalesced under the name Sturmendrang, rebelling against stifling social conventions as well. See?
Yeah.
Against stifling social convention. This dude's like, yo, fuck these rules.
Yeah,
like, give me my
exactly.
horses
Exactly.
back, bro. And rebelling against stifling social conventions as well as against French literary models.
Okay, nice.
It's a new savage rip, right?
Yeah.
The literary movement. For his generation, said Werther, the French way of life was too restricted and genteel, their poetry too cold, their criticism destructive, their philosophy abstruse and unsatisfying. English literature, with its earnest melancholy, was more to their taste. Oh, see, they like the earnest
Okay,
melancholy.
nice,
They
nice.
like getting real. Like,
Yeah.
I love this girl so much. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it. They revered Shakespeare, Hamlet in particular. For their literary credo, they relied on Edward Young's conjectures on original composition, in which the great soul, the genius, uses his semi-divine creative powers to transform experience into art.
Wait, what's that book? Edward Young?
Edward Young's Conjectures on Original Composition.
Okay,
That's where they got
okay.
their fucking credo
Yeah, I get-
from. The genius. I mean, that's some Dante
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
And the whole idea is that he didn't kill himself because he was able to transform himself through this
into-
creative
yeah,
act
yeah.
that you're reading. I
Wow.
mean, dude, that's what you know. That's the earliest comparison of fuckboy
Yeah.
with the McInerney. Sturmendrang foreshadowed full-blown romanticism. I like this right here, this description. In its emphasis on originality against imitation, the modern against the classical, inspiration against learning, intuition
Inspiration against learning.
as against rules,
Yeah.
as well as in its enthusiasm for philosophical pantheism.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Taking everything. The cult of genius. And a return to the Middle Ages. See? Middle Ages, Dante. Goethe was never more than a fringe member of the group, but Werther is more a representative camp follower, the character.
Yeah.
In young Werther, right? It goes, Sturmendrang didn't last long, but yeah, so.
But it obviously had an influence on Kleist. Is
yeah.
he Sturmendrang or is he right after?
I think he's maybe right after.
Yeah.
I don't know. But these are two different essays,
Yeah.
but they're back to back.
Yeah, but they're
He's
related,
going. Yeah,
though,
they're related, and they're both in the same time. But that was kind of sick because I was just kind of like, you know, at a certain point you gotta trust everything you've taken in.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you gotta just like Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was finally doing that. You know, you leave a million threads open. Oh, maybe once I read a few more things, I'll be able to finish
Yeah,
that
yeah.
part. Just finishing, you know, finishing everything. That's very like German romantic.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
for sure.
And just like tap into that. And a lot of music I was listening to this week was like really like making. I was like crying a lot.
yeah,
this
yeah.
week. Like randomly, like. But it was like yeah. You know that dude McGee, that singer McGee.
No.
Okay, he just some. He's some crazy musician. His album was fucking hitting
McGee?
this week. It's spelled like MKGEE.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I haven't heard
around
anything
for a minute. But I was listening to some, and all his like videos are like one takes, and he's like
Yeah.
sitting in a bus or something.
And he's not a rapper.
No, he's not a rapper.
Yeah.
He like he does crazy. He like young Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I like.
but very avant-garde.
Yeah.
Kind of sick.
Wait,
dude.
wait. I'm gonna check that out.
Check it out. The sonically, it's crazy. Yeah.
But that was like. Do you like that Kodak little freestyle?
Oh my god,
that
I
was so
dead,
good.
dude. I was dead. I mean, Kodak's very, very,
Yeah, but
very
that's
German
all
romantic, dude.
intuition.
Oh yeah,
and
intuition.
He's
the
like
feeling.
crying.
Yeah,
like,
he's like, yeah, dude. The cold. Yeah, he a genius.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, for sure,
yeah.
for
Damn.
yeah, that kid I was training showed me that, and he was like, "This is so bad." I was
Okay.
like, you're crazy,
Dude, I was dead. I was dead, dude. But okay, so wait. Let me say this real quick though, in terms of the whole
Yeah,
like
yeah.
autofiction nonsense people talking about these days. So basically, yo. I'll go Sturmendrang and not rely on the text. I know what I want to tell
off
you.
Off your head.
But fucking, so basically he drops the book and he told everyone he wrote it in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
In a somnambulistic days.
Oh, yeah,
You know, he's
nice.
just sleepwalking, and basically he drops a book and people were, you know, whatever, reading it, and then a few years people start going, oh, but you were dating this woman, that's Charlotte so and so, and then this other your friend is so and so. They figure it out, they crack the code, and he's like, fuck, you know.
Yeah.
And then she has this celebrity, she develops this celebrity.
Well, for
'Cause
being the girl in the
yeah,
book.
for being the
Oh,
girl in the
shit.
book. And she like says like, oh, I didn't like, yeah, I knew him, but he was like weird, like I didn't like him. And then get this, dude.
was weird.
In like 40 years later,
Yeah.
he's like 60. They're both like 60, and he's great Werther.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has like a manner. She comes and visits him with her daughter.
No way.
Yeah. And they sit down and talk, and this was written about in a different book. Coetzee is a goat.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He loves this.
Yeah.
Dude. And then you know what Coetzee says what happened? He said, but then she like eventually like she like left in a huff because he was just focused on her daughter.
Oh,
And talking to her daughter though. I was like, Coetzee, stop fantasizing, Coetzee. You fucking, but isn't that crazy,
hilarious.
dude? But like,
That's crazy to
I
think.
didn't know,
Wow.
but dude, this had me like.
I know that
Isn't that crazy?
when
dude?
Werther was super old, he was completely in love with this like young girl. She was like 19 or something like that, and he spent like his last days completely in love with this.
Maybe it
girl.
was her daughter, dude.
Yeah, maybe it was.